Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network, aka Casper the Friendly Ghost. Let's just dive in, and let's start off with the price action. So, with the overall market having a very strong bounce today, Casper is up about 7%, trading volume up about 116%. This is positive and negative volume. But it's been very exciting to see the price action bounce back as strong as it has. One thing that I've always noted with Casper's price action is that I want us to be over 5.5 cents before we even do start to think bullish about the price action. But one thing that I have been noting is the higher low scenario. Ever since we dropped back in the June timeframe, we've been making these higher lows. There was a higher low in September, followed by a higher low in November, followed by a higher low in December, and recently it looks like we are starting to have a higher low in March. I love to see this because, hey, it means that we are building the steps up. I always say I like when we have slow price action like this where we are building a floor going up because it means that there's more support there for when something happens and we drop down. So we're definitely looking at this and watching this closely. I don't have TradingView open because I didn't want to focus on TA in this video, but I'm still very excited for the price action going forward. I just want to get us over 5.5 cents so that we can make a higher high, which is what is most bullish about price action in this market. But with all that in mind, let's talk about a few innovations that just recently started from Casper Network. So I seen this yesterday, read the article, very, very bullish on this. So first off, this is an announcement that XP Network will be allowing Casper Network to be a bridge on the network, and we do see Casper Network becomes the latest blockchain to allocate a grant to the XP Network bridge. We are proud of the partnership with Casper and excited to help grow this exciting ecosystem. Stay tuned. And we do see proud and excited to support builders making multi-chain NFT bridges a reality, paired with Casper's powerful and unique CEP78 standard. And if you guys did go check out XP Network, they have about almost 40,000 followers. And it seems like this is one of those networks that is constantly expanding. If you actually look at their ecosystems and go to the all categories down here, you can see how large this ecosystem actually is. Now, a lot of this is centered on NFT collections. For example, if we scroll up and we go to NFT collections, you can see all of the NFT collections that are tied to XP Network. But also, they are focused on some of the largest projects out there. And also, here we have real life NFT bridge use scenarios. A lot of these are very large, especially centered on the Polygon network. There's also a couple other ones here as well. But this is very exciting. And also, by the way, if you go and read the blog post that got posted by XP Network over on Medium, you could see just how large this actually is. They have already exposure to, believe it was up here actually. I just went fully past it. I apologize. But they have about 25 chains supported already, as you guys do see right here. And the reason for this is because they are supporting these ecosystems, whether or not they have a large NFT project offering on them or not. Casper is still very early on in terms of like the NFT project offering. I think that they have the Wise Art, Casper Army, Casper Punks, Casper NFT Market. There's also another marketplace kind of. And then also down here, we also have Metacask. And then last but not least, we have Casper Tigers. So again, not a very, very large offering so far, but I do believe that this is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So I'm very excited about that. But also the NFT technology on Casper is what is allowing for these networks to, want to bridge with them. And I think that the CEP78 standard around NFTs is called like enhanced NFTs, which, by the way, if you guys didn't read about this, I highly suggest you guys to go and do, because these are pretty large. I've talked about how upgradable smart contracts is changing the overall way that NFTs are going to be utilized, minted, etc. For an example, here's the CEP78 standard. Easy to use, hard-coded, off-the-shelf selection of modalities that allow for the installation of application-specific NFTs without needing to be programmed, improved mutability of on-chain metadata, enabling NFTs to track changes to the state of its associated asset. Meaning, guess what? You don't need to remint NFTs as they get upgraded. A lot of games do this. For an example, if you're playing a game, your NFT can evolve and things like that. With this, you don't need to remint the NFT. You don't need to do anything special with it. It already is tracking that. We also do see author-chosen upgrade patterns and weighted key management, tangibility modality for recording whether the NFT represents a physical, digital, or virtual asset, i.e. a trademark, and native whitelist functionality allowing NFT authors the ability to restrict the minting of NFTs to a pre-selected group of accounts, which, by the way, this is a game changer because I don't know if you guys are in the HBAR NFT scene, but whitelist, it's a very, very complicated thing. There's a lot of people that were creating new wallets, send in the whitelist to that wallet, and that wallet would be allowed to actually mint. So this is huge where we have a selection. You can control it. That's a big game changer. And I do think that going forward on, and they do mention a few other projects that are already utilizing NFTs on Casper. For an example, here are the other ones. We've talked about Friendly Market in the past, but I'm very excited for this. I think that these standards that Casper is ultimately, changing the way NFTs are looked at, utilized, etc. I think that this is huge. And also we do see like how can businesses utilize upgradable NFTs. And we do see take Metacast for an example. One of the most creative projects taking advantage of Casper's immutability feature. Metacast serves as a marketplace for spirits-backed NFTs. Users can collect and trade valuable whiskey bottles for cask and request their tokenized assets to be delivered to them physically. So this is huge. And there's a lot more tied to this. Like these are just small use cases right now, but as they do say down here, the sky's the limit of how far NFT Imagineers and entrepreneurs will be able to take it. And I do think that expansions like this, where we do have multi-chain being realized in, I think that this is a game changer. And XP Network definitely sees the value behind Casper as well, on how they don't just copy others on other blockchains. Like they literally leverage a new standard. And Casper's creating new standards as we go forward on in time. But also, let's get down to business, literally. Businesses, how can they utilize crypto technology? How are businesses jumping into the space? Well, here we have from Deloitte. So we do see the rise of using cryptocurrency in business. An increasing number of companies worldwide are using Bitcoin and other digital assets for a host of investment, operational, and transactional purposes. As with any frontier, there are unknown dangers but also strong incentives. Explore the kinds of questions and insights enterprises should consider as they determine whether and how to use digital assets. And here we have why consider using crypto. More than 2,300 US businesses accept Bitcoin, according to one estimate from late 2020, and that doesn't include Bitcoin ATMs. An increasing number of companies worldwide are using Bitcoin and other digital assets for a host of investment, operational, and transactional purposes. Down here, we do see what can crypto do for your company. Well, a few things, right? It may provide access to new demographic groups. Users can represent a more cutting edge clientele that values transparency in their transactions. One recent study found that up to 40% of customers who pay with crypto are new customers of the company, and their purchase amounts are twice those of credit card users. Introducing crypto now may help spur internal awareness in your company about this new technology. It may also help position the company in this important emerging space for a future that could include central bank digital currencies. Crypto could also enable access to new capital and liquidity pools, unlocking working capital, which is a big game changer. We've talked about it quite a bit on this channel, through traditional investments that have been tokenized, as well as to new asset classes. And they do go to mention so many other ones, but mainly we see the entire process enhanced. I mean, everything from start to finish will be fully enhanced. And the craziest thing about all of this, right, is that this is just like the beginning. We've talked about this quite a bit. There's been reports on this going back 3 months ago, the future of smart contract adoption for enterprises. It's talking about DeFi use cases, and how more and more enterprises are starting to adopt this. And again, I say it time and time again on this channel when we talk about projects like Casper or even Hedera. It's going to start small. So far we've had quite a bit of companies wanting to utilize this technology, right? And a lot of the things that we do look at is centered on transactional payments, things like that. DeFi is a huge one as well. Recently, with what's been happening with CeFi around banks and things like that, I do think that DeFi is going to get a lot more spotlight put on it. But also, as we start to see more and more companies jumping into this space, wanting to utilize this technology, I do think that's going to be the assets that have the efficiencies that are far greater than like Ethereum that will succeed. So Hedera, Casper, etc., are going to be the ones that are more focused on. But also even Ripple, right? For those out there that are focused on Ripple news, if you hold XRP, maybe you want to be focused on what Ripple's doing around crypto because it might have some exposure to XRP. We do see over here, crypto means business. Time to transform finance. It's time to build a more efficient, dynamic, and transparent financial system. Ripple's crypto solutions empower innovative finance leaders to drive business advantage from crypto today. We are seeing a huge facelift happening for the financial system, and ultimately everything around it will have to evolve as well, meaning businesses too. We do see discover what crypto can do for your business. And a lot of this is the bigger use cases, right? Modernize and streamlining payments is the big one. This is the big focus point. But also, you could see improved treasury management, aka freeing up working capital. It's allowing the entire capital aspect to be enhanced. But you also see make assets more agile, build customer engagement, and offer new financial services. All of this is happening through, crypto-driven use cases. And Casper is definitely focused on businesses as well. We do see from Casper Labs. Casper Labs is delivering impactful solutions to businesses and organizations worldwide. Here are a few of our recent customer stories. One, IPWE. They just helped them acquire over 300 new clients in less than 4 months. 300 new clients. Casper Blockchain is the game changer for businesses and governments managing patents. What you see down here, Metacast is going beyond basic NFT use cases by combining asset-backed NFT technology with auctions and an NFT marketplace utilizing Casper's blockchain. WiseKeys WiseArt is using Casper to power WiseArt, its unique digital identification NFT platform for the collectible and luxury market. Casper Labs created an open permission-based blockchain network for the city of Chengdu, and smart cities are building on Casper. And this is just a few, right? And I've talked about it as well, right? When we look at a lot of these use cases, I know it's the same repetitive thing, but I want you all to understand that, it's going to start small. It's only going to start with a few names. Hedera was there too. I remember when Hedera only had AdStacks being the one that transacted on the network. Today, Hedera is boasting. Let's go to Hedera transactions. Today, Hedera is doing 700 plus TPS. They're at 5.2 billion transactions. I remember them just hitting 5 billion. We're already over 206 million more transactions. And this thing started small. I remember when nobody cared about Hedera. It's these networks that a lot of people just expect to get rich off of extremely quick. I want you guys to realize that these are projects, these are networks that are working with enterprise names. Enterprise names have NDAs in place. Casper continues to expand, continues to focus on technology that is going to allow these businesses, these enterprises, these financial institutions, etc., to want to utilize this technology. That they're gonna want to utilize technology that is expanding, that is upgrading every single day, every single night. Like, we see zero knowledge proofs coming to the network. This is going to improve privacy, security, and scalability of the Casper blockchain. These are what we want to see. Like, we want to see innovations like this happening on these networks because already Casper is extremely efficient compared to most, but these upgrades are going to put it in the same exact path as other networks that are much larger than it. I do think that with the constant innovation, the constant building, and the constant updates that we do see from the Casper team, I am very confident on Casper. One thing that I would love to see, though, is more use cases going live. Because, yes, I know, when we go back to, this tweet here from Casper, yes, all of these use cases, they're the same ones that we've been talking about for some time, but I do think that this is going to change. Again, I always bring up Hedera, I always bring up other projects. I remember when Polygon, started to break out a little bit, and everyone ignored it. They said, oh, it's whatever, it's going to go here, it's going to go there. They ignored it, all of a sudden, boom, it just blasts. The same thing happened with Graph. I remember when Graph came out, it had a pullback. Nobody really cared about it. All of a sudden, boom, because one of the biggest projects in the space. It happens every single time. And remember, I always take a step back. Look at Ethereum, right? At one point in time, Ethereum basically had no building on it. All of a sudden, a couple years later, boom, it's one of the biggest projects in this space, boasting most of the DeFi market cap. And I always say, it's going to take some time. Casper is still very, very early on. I almost say that these networks are still in beta because they still have not fully launched. And the only reason why I say that they haven't fully launched, it's just because of how early we are on these networks. This entire space is still very early on. I do believe that every single major business will be utilizing this technology going forward on in time. And I think that even these major names like Deloitte are also seeing that. I think that it's only a matter of time before we start to see everyday life being pretty much worked out on DLT technology and digital assets. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this before. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.